everyone, it is like 2000% humidity outside and I got caught in the rain earlier, so my hair is kind of a Hermione Granger-esque mess, but can we just pretend it's really sleek and awesome? Great. Last weekend I had the immense pleasure of going to see Annie, a Parody, from the same knuckleheads who brought us a Harry Potter musical, Holy Musical Batman, Starship, and Twisted, among other inappropriate ones that I will not mention by name, but you know what I'm talking about. It is such a treasure to have Starkid in the Midwest. It was only about an hour and 45-minute drive from where I live, so I took a friend along and we hit the road. While we were waiting in line, I took this selfie, and then minutes later, Brian Holden just walks on by along the sidewalk and goes into the theater. No big deal. My friend nudged me and was like, Talia, Talia. So I looked up and I saw him and I was just like, I didn't know what to do. And we made eye contact and he smiled and it was glorious. And yeah. I was wearing my Books Turned Muggles into Wizards t-shirt, which my friend criticized because he said you can't wear Harry Potter to a Star Wars show. It's like wearing Star Trek to a Star Wars show. No, I disagree because Starkid is what it is because of Harry Potter. So I just went with it. I got a lot of compliments on it, so As for the show itself, I obviously will not include any spoilers because I am not a terrible person, but I will say that it is completely on par with all of the parodies Starkid has done so far, especially reminiscent of the Harry Potter musical series, because there's that same fanboy love of Star Wars, the same like direct quotes from things, the same intense extended universe knowledge. You could tell the people who wrote it love it enough to make fun of it. To me, the most hilarious moments were when they took George Lucas's awful dialogue and just laid it out on the table for what it is, and it speaks for itself, really. The premise is that Darth Vader is feeling kind of like a has-been, kind of useless on the Death Star, so he decides to leave it all behind in an attempt to reclaim some of his former childhood glory. There were the classic characters you would expect to see. Nick Lang did a hilarious Alec Guinness Obi-Wan Kenobi. Brian Holden did an insane Jar Jar Binks. Unfortunately, the week I went, Joe Moses was out of town, but I imagine the parts that he would have played. And I mean, the person who was doing them was no slouch either. I'd say the show had a pretty good balance of original trilogy and prequels. I embarrassingly know the prequels better than the original trilogy because those were the ones that came out in theaters when I was growing up, and that was what really got me attached to Star Wars. I'd say the only criticism I have of the show is that the actors didn't sing. There was a band off to the side that was playing all of the music, and they incorporated that into the show and made it pretty funny, but I wanted to hear them sing. Other than that, Annie was fantastic. It was everything I could have asked for and more. After the show, we waited around for 10 or 15 minutes, and then the actors came out and were so chill about hanging out and signing things and taking pictures. Granted, my last fan experience was VidCon, which was 18,000 people who, when they saw a celebrity they admired, ran and attempted to tackle them. I don't know how well you can see this, but Joe Walker's signature is over there. He was super nice and friendly. He's like, "Where are you from? Thanks so much for coming." And I said it was so nice to see Starkid live as opposed to on YouTube. And then we took this picture and I just sort of melted. I also got to talk to Nick Lang, whose signature is over there. I commended him on an amazing show and the way he incorporated actual Star Wars lines into the play in such hilarious ways, and wished him luck on future Starkid projects, and he just sort of laughed like, "Oh, let's just get through this one and then we'll think about the future." Starkid is awesome. They are so gracious to their fans. They're so appreciative. I mean, if you think about it, Starkid really is what it is because of the fans. The fans are what sustain this theater company and keep it going and allow them to do what they do. You definitely feel that and see that in the way they interact with the audience, and they're just so nice, all of them. If you have the chance to see the show, I think it's running for a few more weeks, and honestly, I can't recommend it highly enough. You definitely need to have some sort of grasp of Star Wars to fully appreciate it. My friend who I went along with, like, knows Star Wars, but like, not, like, knows it, so he was a little bit lost at times and maybe was falling asleep. This video was requested by a friend of mine to talk about Annie and do a little recap of the show, so hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.